it sounds like there is a kind of a range of prices out there. What are the things that are typically driving these prices up or down? What are the major factors typically?
It's an incredibly volatile market.
Okay.
That's I mean, if we were to go back to the Rego market in the UK, I think in the last probably just over 12 months, I think we've seen prices trade probably somewhere between £3.80 and £25 a megawatt hour.
Oh wow, that is some deviation.
Exactly. So it's a highly volatile market. What's it driven by? Again, and part of the reason for that is that it's driven by supply and demand. So that'll be demand either from suppliers who will have to buy green certificates for their own compliance, for their fuel mix disclosure reasons, or corporates looking to get into the market to green their energy. But then there's also, on the supply side, you've got to bear in mind that the supply is dictated by the amount of wind that's been generated, the amount of solar that's been generated, and ultimately the amount of sunshine we have. The amount of wind that we have is never known. It's even more difficult to forecast. So you have some very interesting and highly volatile supply dynamics and demand dynamics as well. And that's really what feeds into the volatility.
Okay, so with organisations, let's say upping their sustainability game around net zero, potentially a lot of buyers are kind of doing this activity for the first time and are entering this market. And how do I know what good value is? And I guess that's some of the value that you and your team support. What does your team do specifically in terms of supporting operationally? When we get down to it and the client says, right, Paul, can you help us out? We need to find value. What is it that you're doing? Yeah,
so we support clients on multiple fronts. So it will be from as simple as sort of market intelligence. So we can support clients by tracking the market. It might be that we, if they were a large-scale consumer, it might be that we run some sort of a risk strategy for them if the spend was sufficient to justify that. But then once it comes to the point of execution, we would establish what the best route to market would be. So it might be that actually, even though we're looking to optimise the trading of it, there is flexibility within the supply contracts actually just to go and do it through the supplier.
Okay.
Alternatively, if that wasn't an option or it wasn't the best option, we could look to go out to market. So that would be either to approach generators directly or to work with our broker partners in order to ascertain the best price. And that might include registering a bid into the market at what we think good value is, and then pursuing that in order to try and secure at that price. If we can't secure at that price, try and get as close to that price as you can. I think one of the pitfalls that a lot of people, or if you were inexperienced in doing this, would be to try and work with multiple brokers and actually run it as a tendering process.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get yourself in all sorts of problems, I think, if you try to do it that way. Actually, the best way to think about it is a trading process rather than a procurement process. And track the market. When you reach a good value threshold, get into the market, and then try and get as close as you can to your target price. But if you were to try and run it as a tender, you would probably find that we know because we've tried it. It doesn't really work.
Okay, brilliant. Well, Paul, thank you for your time.
No worries.
Really insightful stuff. If you do want to find out more, please do get in touch. But for now, thank you very much.